not like my regular videos, but I went to see Kunt and the gang live again. This isn't the whole concert, but some snippets that I recorded on the night. Enjoy.
My tongue and in my head, I'm holding it over carefully, and this is what I said. Go on then, just this once, use my arsehole as a gun. Use my arse, use my arse, use my arsehole, use my arse. Go on then, just this once, use my arsehole as a gun. Use my arse, use my arse, use my arsehole, use my arse. When I see you on countdown, I have to pull my pants down and put a finger in my crown. When she multiplies, I'll hit my flies. Then when she divides, I'll put my hand inside. And then when she adds, pop out my knob and nads. Then when she subtracts, I perform a sexual act. Carol's really glamorous, she wears the latest stuff. She's 40 something and I want to do in the hut. She tells you the target, but he's my goal. To one day divide her flaps and let's put her a hole. Love Carol. When I see you on countdown, I'll have to put my pants down and put a finger in my crown. Oh Carol, when I see you on countdown, I'll have to put my pants down and put a finger in my crown. I love Carol Vorderman, since 1985. I sometimes like to lurk around the bottom of her drive. I sometimes like to follow her when she goes to the shops. I sometimes open up her drains and it's having her pops. I met her once and told her that I was her biggest fan. She sold me an autograph and put it in my hand. But at that point I felt a little throbbing in my gland. I realised I was ejaculating in my pants. So with Carol Vorderman, Carol Vorderman, Carol, Carol, Carol Vorderman, Carol Vorderman, Carol Vorderman, Carol, Carol, Carol Vorderman. Last Friday night I was due out on a date, but unfortunately I got home really late. I didn't have time for a bath or a shower. There's only one thing that could save us. It's just like a shower, but it's over the sink. The only thing that gets washed is shiny and pink. If there's a possibility of fellatio, you have to make sure that your knob doesn't smell like wavers. A gentleman's wash, a gentleman's wash. If you think there's half a chance you can't like get a nosh, pull back your skin, wash the helmet within, and that's a little gentleman's wash. I like having it off with young ladies. I like it when they're old. You like pussies that are really hairy. I like it when they're old. I like comedy that is really subtle. I like it when it's old. You like to have straight sex with a lady. And you like it up your ass. No, I don't. Sure, we've got lots of differences, but when it comes down to it, the bottom line is that heaven knows there's nothing that I wouldn't do. We're like Fred and Rose. I'll murder the larger for you. And while you're entertaining a string of Caribbean gentlemen, you'll be downstairs in the cellar, digging out the massive hole. And while I'm raping, murdering and burying a hitchhiker, I'll be upstairs in my naked dress, sliding up around black man's pole. It's not PC, but it's factually accurate. To look at a traditional wank bag, and I like it to make rock. I like DVDs with girl and girl action, and I like to see a pop shop. You think your cock looks best with a hard on. You're happy with yours on the side. You like getting your penis related. Oh, you want to make yourself right. I fucking don't. Sure, we've got lots of differences, but when it comes down to it, the bottom line is that heaven knows there's nothing that I wouldn't do. We're like Fred and Rose. I'll murder the larger for you. And heaven knows there's nowhere that I'd rather be. We're like Fred and you strangely act when everyone's still in the circle and back. I sat off the bloke, I didn't like it. Get this inside the wizard's sleeve for you. This is Little Kunt, Mark III. He was with me from 2010/11 up to the present day, and at the end of this tour he's going to retire. No, he's earned it. He's going to retire to the bag in the loft where he's going to live with the other little cunts. Fritzalised in my loft, except for I don't get on out and fuck them unless I've had a really bad gig. So, see Little Kunt. See 2 blobs of blue tack. It was so hot at the gig in Derby the other night, the blue tack wouldn't even stick. People often wonder how that was done. Now listen, I've got to be honest, at 2010, 2011, I had started to run out of ideas. I'd written every single permutation of wanking bass songs that I could write. And I was starting to run out of ideas, but luckily for me, 2 words changed all that. Operation and U-Tree. Now, obviously, it wasn't fantastic for the 400 plus people who had their lives ruined at the busy hands of Jimmy Savile and his BBC pedo chums, but it did get me another 5 years. It wasn't all plain sailing, no. I got a 72-hour ban from Facebook for this. I did the crime, I did the time. Well, they did the crime, I did the time. Now listen, I will just say one more thing before I play this song, is as a recording artist, you don't get to choose what your most popular song is. Because if you did, I wouldn't have fucking chosen this one. This one was written, recorded, and we made the video in just over a morning. There were songs that I spent much longer on, but I guess if people want to sit on the train and listen on their headphones to me doing a duet with the UK's worst paedophile, or best, depending on how you judge the criteria, that's up to them. And this is Jimmy Savile and the Sexy Kids. The other night, I suddenly awoke to the spectral shape of this ghostly bloke. He was floating above me, just there in midair. He had a shell suit on and a mop of blonde hair. He said, he said, I said, I'm not sure, I'd have to hear that explanation in case people think I'm a pedo by association. And this is what he told me, it was sexy kids, made Jimmy Savile do what he did. Those kids weren't consenting, his shell suit bottoms were tempting with his feelings for the sexy kids. So Jimmy's ghost continued to maintain he'd done nothing wrong, and he tried to explain he had a cigar on his lips, and by that I don't mean that he was desperate to use the latrine. He said, he said, I said I'll write a song to get rid of his ghost, but then he told me one more time more bothered than most. It was sexy kids, made Jimmy Savile do what he did. He got them in his rolls and fingered their holes, think their charity a load of quids. Jimmy Savile and the Sexy Kids. Marvellous, just don't remember. Shane, shut your cake hole in it. Remember what happened to her? There's a warning from history in a lot of ways. Thanks, Shane. So, in a lot of ways, the reason I'm back now, and the reason I came back in the pandemic, and the reason I put this song out in the first place, are all tied up in this next story, which takes about 2 minutes, but it does need relative quiet for it to work. Alright? So I want to take you back. This is the bit where I do take you back to the start and everything kind of makes sense, alright? But without it, it doesn't really make sense, it's just a song. So I want to take you back to the year 2000, alright? If you remember, I was working for Essex Council, caretaker / odd job man, and I was working for Big Pete, big bearded Northern Irish bloke. So Big Pete had to choose 5 people who worked for the council youth service to go and attend a racism conference at Buchenwald concentration camp in Germany. That's not the funny bit. Nor is the fact that he chose me as one of those 5 people. And it wasn't because I needed it most, it was for my presentation skills. So us, a group of 5 people, me, Big Pete, 3 others, we all went out and we stayed at Buchenwald concentration camp with loads of other people who worked for the council youth services all around Europe, and we all attended racism seminars and we attended racism workshops, and we heard talks from survivors of the concentration camps, and they told us in their own words about some of the bleakest, darkest, most fucking evil things that human beings have ever done to other human beings until recently. And one thing that I took from it was, in amongst all that fucking darkness, there was a light of humour that kept people going through those fucking dark times. And at the end of the conference, at the end of the week, we were invited to go and watch a piece of theatre. And it was all in this black box theatre that had been converted from one of the old SS barracks. So we've all filed in, and I've sat down next to Big Pete, my boss, and the lights went down, and it went completely quiet. And then, I mean, not completely quiet, but quieter than this. And then all these young women filed onto the stage wearing these beautiful coloured dresses, and within a minute, they all just removed their dresses and underneath just had plain black tops and trousers on, which I took to signify their entry into the concentration camp when they had their clothes taken off them and their possessions taken off them, and in a lot of ways, their individuality. And at this moment, I leant over and I whispered to Big Pete in the style of Beavis and Butthead, "Give me a stiffy." Big Pete gasped, and I realised in that moment he was trying not to laugh. And fuck, it was quiet in there. And as Big Pete's trying not to laugh, that's fucking set me off. And the pair of us spent the next 5 minutes looking away from each other with our hands over our faces, just trying not to laugh. And every time I thought I was okay, I'd feel Big Pete's arm shake like this, and it would fucking set me off again. Until the point where Big Pete just couldn't hold it in anymore, and he erupted like a kettle whistling. And it just fucking done me. I just got up and I made my way along my road, and I went out and I walked as far away as I could, and I sat on the wall and I laughed 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 more than I've ever laughed in my whole life. I was crying with laughter. Then after about half an hour I saw the theatre kicking out, and people were all making their way back out into the daylight, and I've come back across the courtyard and I've made a beeline for Big Pete to apologise. And as I've approached him, he looked thoroughly fucking ashamed of himself. And before I could say sorry, he just looked me in the eye, and in his broad Northern Irish accent, he said, "The trouble is, I do fundamentally find it very funny." And this is my problem. Who's to say what's okay, but what are you meant to fucking do if you find it funny? And this one's called Paperboy. I'm going to tell you a little story about my Paperboy. 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 It's not a very happy one. I won't bring you joy, but I bring you joy, but I bring you joy. Paperboy looks just like this girl who I used to fancy at school. I never plucked up the courage to ask her out, cause she was always a bit too cool. But now I'm older and more confident, I'm going to turn back the clock by tricking my Paperboy into my shed and introducing him to some soft pornography. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Paperboy, Paperboy, I never thought that I would rape a boy, till he came along now singing his song about raping a paperboy. Paperboy, Paperboy, I never thought that I would rape a boy, till he came along now singing his song about raping a paperboy. He delivers the local news on the Thursday afternoon. I hear him whistling down the path, but he won't be so cheerful soon. His family will be on the TV news putting out a tearful plea. But he isn't dead, he's trapped in my shed, crying and waiting for me. Dressed in a girls' school uniform. 1, 2, you gotta sing along now. Paperboy, Paperboy, I never thought that I would rape a boy, till he came along now singing his song about raping a paperboy. Everybody now. Paperboy, Paperboy, I never thought that I would rape a boy, till he came along now singing his song about raping a paperboy. Of course I haven't raped my Paperboy, that's as twisted as you could get. I've restricted myself to having a whack watching him from behind my neck. I know some blokes will hear this song and try and give me a fight, but last week he turned 16, so legally that's alright. 1, 2, at least I'm not a pedo. Paperboy, Paperboy, I never thought that I would rape a boy, till he came along now singing his song about raping a paperboy. One last time now. Paperboy, Paperboy, of course I've never really raped a boy. I know that he's wrong, I'm just singing a song about raping and raping, till his arsehole's raping a paperboy.